Hey guys, welcome back to the Silver Screen Studios YouTube channel. My name is David, and it has been a hot minute since I've been in front of you guys, and I apologize for that, because I started doing reactions to a bunch of the CW shows and a couple trailers, and you guys have just been a very loyal and awesome, encouraging fan base, and I am so sorry to leave you hanging like that. I tried to, kind of give an update with my last reaction video that I had some stuff going on in my life that I kind of had to reprioritize and focus on that. But I'll let you guys know what was going on. Basically in October, my mom was diagnosed with cancer after they discovered a tumor in the base of her back, and so I kind of had to focus on family and work for a while there, and YouTube kind of had to take a back seat. But I'm back now, because I don't want to leave you guys hanging. A lot of you guys have been wondering where the reaction videos and content has been, so I'm back at it again with you guys. Otherwise, this is going to be the start of a new segment because, with work it's hard. Sometimes we don't get off in time and night for me to catch the shows live, so I have to wait till the next day till they upload to the CW app, which I recommend if you guys are looking for a way to catch the CW shows other than catching them live. Please check out the CW app. It's a great free alternative. Otherwise, there's Hulu, there's Amazon, or if you like to binge watch, I recommend wait till the season's over, binge watch it on Netflix. They upload like a week after now that the CW has a new deal with Netflix. Otherwise, guys, this segment basically is going to be my attempt to give you guys my reactions and my thoughts on the shows. Basically what this is going to be endearingly called is the DC TV Weekly Roundup. So basically what we're going to do here is we're going to go through all the shows that aired this week, everything that happened, all the memorable moments, all the interesting moments, the plot threads, the reveals, the secrets, because it's the CW. There's always secrets and drama. But otherwise, guys, this is going to be that. So otherwise, guys, I hope you enjoy this. Otherwise, I'm going to quit talking. We're going to get through the intro, which I hope you guys please drop a like if you enjoy the new intro. Let me know your thoughts on it, because we thought 2018, it's a new year, time to update the channel a little bit. So please let me know what you think of the new intro. Otherwise, guys, enough of my rambling. Let's get into it. All right.
My name is Kara Zor-El. I'm from Krypton. I'm a refugee on this planet.
Okay, guys, so we're going to start off schedule-wise. We're going to start off talking about Supergirl. I think this week, again, Supergirl has really just come back with a pop, I'll say that for any of the CW shows after the mid-season break. I don't think any of them came back with a flutter. I think they all kind of came back with a bang and a pop. Otherwise, Supergirl itself, after last week's episode, we really saw a real deep dive, into Kara's mind, literally and metaphorically, as the fact of this season, she's really been grappling with her struggle between Kara Danvers and Supergirl, because when she tried to be Kara Danvers, she kept getting hurt and, kept feeling vulnerable, and so she kind of reclused into Supergirl to try and feel stronger and better and invincible a little bit. But, last week we kind of saw that her mind kind of came to the point where it's like, no, you can't do that. Kara Danvers has to have her time. She has her place. Kara Danvers, her heart, her humanity, all of that. That's exactly what Reign doesn't have, and that's what's going to help you beat her, which I appreciated. That's even been a struggle for Clark Kent in, because I watched Smallville growing up, and that was a big thing for Clark, growing up in the Superman, is he had to reconcile, is it being just Kryptonian that makes me a better hero, just human, but it's a little bit of both, and that's what makes them so special and so powerful, is that they're the best of both worlds, very much so. And I liked how that episode set that up, and you really saw Kara Danvers' heart and humanity back in this episode, because she didn't forget about Reign at all, and after her very severe beating by Reign, she recognized the fact that she wasn't going to be able to beat her alone. That wasn't going to happen, and so she recruited, as many people are endearingly calling it in a meme, the Just Hers League, Just Hers, Justice League. I'm gonna trust you guys got that, so I won't. I'll let that stupid pun go now. All right, sorry. Back to topic. But basically, that included Supergirl, Saturn Girl, and what is her name? Psy. No, that wasn't me like sighing at me forgetting. It was both. the character's name is Sai. If you don't remember her, she appeared earlier this season. She has telekinetic powers where she can basically dive into somebody's mind and she can reveal the greatest weaknesses, in her thoughts, and we saw that come to fruition as even in the final fight, she used that on Rain, and we saw that they're very much inside of Rain. Spoiler alert, I don't know why you're watching this if you don't want spoilers, but we saw Samantha, who is the human identity of Rain. You see the inner struggle in her mind. The only thing that's keeping her human is trying to hold on to her daughter, and that's the fear in her mind, is that she's losing her daughter. And we saw that even culminate as she, at the end of the episode, fessed up to Alex that she thinks something's wrong. And I think, is it just me? I feel like there might become a relationship between Samantha and Alex. Let me know what you guys think on that. I just think it's strange that they did an episode where Alex bonded with her daughter, and the whole reason Alex broke up with Maggie is because she wanted kids. Do you get where I'm going with this? Okay. Let me know what you think. Maybe I'm stretching too far, but let me know what you think. Otherwise, guys, I thought it was interesting to see that kind of inner battle in Rain's mind, but I just realized I committed heresy to the Supergirl fans. Livewire was part of the team, and I don't know how I forgot about her, considering she had the biggest moment in the episode, which, again, spoiler alert, but we saw Livewire's finale. Livewire sacrificed herself to save Supergirl from Rain, even though I don't think Rain would have actually killed Supergirl at all. I don't think that would have happened. Excuse me, I scratched my nose before everybody starts commenting that I just picked my nose. But no, we saw Livewire sacrifice herself for Supergirl, and it was a really touching moment. I thought it was a really great way to finale the character, because if I remember correctly, she's going over to Riverdale, where she's playing a character she's played on there before. The actress herself, I mean. But I thought, being a very reoccurring plot line from all the way back to season 1, I thought it was a really great and touching way to finale the story and relationship between Supergirl and Livewire. And even her final words of, "I guess I'm a sucker too," I thought was a great way to touch on the fact that, when Supergirl was first appearing, Livewire was just a DJ jockey, and she basically called Cat Grant and all of National City a sucker just for liking Supergirl. And I thought that was a great moment. And guys, just remember, she's a metahuman. We're dealing with metahumans. And it's the CW, multiple Earths, altered timelines. She can come back. I don't think they're gonna leave a character like that down forever. I don't think so. That's just my opinion, though. But otherwise, guys, my general opinion of Supergirl this week is I think it really hit the nail on the head for what it needed from last week. I like the fact that they're working on Carmel. Where's all my Carmel shippers out there? Kara and Mon-El, I'm with you. I'm a Carmel shipper. I'm on board. All steam ahead. But I like how they're not just kind of treating it like bull in the china shop, trying to reconcile that relationship. I think it's smart for them to take it easy. I still think, with Mon-El and Saturn Girl, I don't think everything's what it seems. I still am betting they're probably not married, or the fact that Mon-El's trying not to go back to Supergirl because he knows something about the future, or he might just be trying to be loyal to Saturn Girl. But I think, honestly, in the end, what it's going to be is I think Saturn Girl's just going to resign and be like, look, you two belong together. He only, developed a relationship with me because he thought he was never going to make it back. But he's back, so I'm going to step away. I'm going to be the honorable person. That just, that seems like a very Saturn Girl move, because Saturn Girl very much respects Kara, and I think that's kind of where that's headed. But otherwise, guys, that's my general thoughts and opinions. I think Supergirl's winding up really well. It's gonna suck with the scheduling thing. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about that. Next week we'll have Supergirl, but then it's going on break for it's either 5 or 9 weeks. I'll have to look into that. But Legends will take her place, and there's a lot of drama going on with the scheduling. Let me know if you guys want me to make a video for that, to explain that for some of you guys. I'm happy to do that, because there's a lot of confusion and misinterpretation and people saying stuff wrong that's getting fans up in a panic and worry about things when you don't need to be worried. Okay, your favorite heroes are safe. They're not going anywhere, I promise. Why do I feel like I'm gonna regret saying that now? But otherwise, guys, that's pretty much it for the Supergirl. segment. Let me know if you guys have any thoughts, comments, or opinions on the episode. And generally, why don't you guys just leave a like or a comment down below if you enjoy the Supergirl show and are looking forward to next week's episode. But otherwise, guys, we're going to go ahead and move on to The Flash. All right. I'll see you over there in a... I'm not even going to make the pun. It's so overused. But, yeah, to The Flash.
My name is Barry Allen, and I am the fastest man alive.
All right, guys, so let's dive into The Flash. This week provided another interesting and honestly heartbreaking episode for The Flash, because we see Barry Allen's in prison. He's going about it. You know, in the first few seconds of the episode, we see Barry struggle as we see Iron Heights in a riot, and Barry's just sitting in a cell trying to ignore it, and finally something breaks inside of him, and, you know, you see him real quick, little... runs around, puts everybody back in their cell, cleans everything up, and, you know, all the guards are, what just happened? You know, lock him up. But, you know, Barry's main struggle in this week's episode, it seemed to be that he was struggling about not being in prison, but more him not being able to be the hero he once was, which, you know, was very much highlighted in last week's episode when he was being sentenced, and we saw as he's being sentenced to life in prison and condemned as, you know, this horrible human being, the Central City Police Department is commending him for saving the city from nuclear annihilation and giving him the Medal for Valor, which I thought was just a heartbreaking parallel. You know, leave a like if you cried just a little bit at that, because I did. I should have made a reaction for that. But otherwise, guys, this week it was really well done, I think, because this was really a Ralph elongated man-centric story where we actually saw Ralph get his iconic name, which you even saw him, really, it's too on the head. I don't like it, and everybody just tells him, I like it, deal with it, which is the perfect thing for Ralph. That's what he needs. But no, you really saw just not even in name-wise Ralph become a hero, just in character and stature-wise, as you even see, you know, the Trickster's son returns, and we even have a special guest star from the actress who played the Trickster's assistant in the 1990s Flash episode, which I thought was awesome to see her. Let me know if you guys thought, but I got a very much a Joker and Harley Quinn vibe from the two of them, if that makes sense. But yeah, and it was really an enjoyment to see her back at it again, and, you know, mother and son, you know, causing havoc. But you know, you got to see Killer Frost again, which I thought that was a really funny moment when they're like, all right, Killer Frost up. What, guys, it doesn't just work like that. I have to be scared or angry, and so and so, and you just see her eyes light up, and they're childhood bully. There's a lot of repressed anger. Like, it's just I'd love to see them treat Bruce Banner in the Avengers movie like that a little bit. You know, God willing, he makes it through Infinity War, but that's a different topic all alone. But yeah, guys, so Killer Frost and Vibe were, you know, they were kind of B story in this a bit. This was very much Ralph's story, like I said, and, you know, you saw Ralph, because they were trying to step up after Ralph chickened out. You know, Ralph thought he was invincible. That was the only reason he was kind of doing the whole hero angle, and he found out he's not. You know, as Barry said, the longer you do this, every now and then a mortality check does show up. And take it from Barry, who's almost been killed by Eobard Thawne at the end of Season 1. Got the crap kicked out of him by Zoom in Season 2, Episode 6, Enter Zoom. You know, it does happen. You know, ask Oliver Queen, you know, who's almost died multiple times. You know, soared through Chestoff Mountain. That's a hell of a mortality check. But you saw Ralph really you saw him really struggle with that, you know, and there was only one person who could tell him, you know, and it was Barry. So, you know, even though him going to talk to Barry was his attempt to just break Barry out, which it tied into Barry's story very well, because even Barry in the beginning of the episode was just waiting for Cisco to hack the cameras so he could leave. And, you know, even Joe told him, you just need to sit still, because Barry needs to realize, you know, if they're trying to get him out the right way, the last thing they need him doing is creating a bigger and more complex problem for them. Because if he happens to get caught or somebody sees him zip out, you know, that's a lot more of a problem for him, you know. And on that angle, you know, Joe and Cecile are working on Barry's appeal, so, you know, we'll see that story go forward. But yeah, Barry basically tells Ralph, you know, being a hero, it's not all fun and games, you know. And, you know, even Ralph asked him, you know, are you not scared? And he goes, of course I'm scared, Ralph. I'm scared every time I go out there. But, you know, fear, it's really not what's supposed to motivate us in this. It's the fact that we're helping people, and he even told them, fear is a part of the job. You're going to have to learn to deal with it. And, of course, Ralph leaves Barry in prison, and even after Barry tells him, and it kind of tees up Barry's story for the episode, the hardest part about being in here is going from the Flash and Barry Allen to just Barry Allen, inmate number 3567. It was hard, he was struggling with not being able to help people, which of course we saw that come circle as after a old friend of Henry Allen called Big Sur, which there's a big background for him in the comics. I do recommend to research that a little bit. He actually played in the Infinite Crisis storyline, or Crisis on Infinite Earths, if I'm correct. But basically, he was a friend of Henry Allen, who Henry Allen saved his life with an emergency appendix surgery. And then we see Barry Allen save Big Sur's life when he sees, finally, a camera's broken, and Barry can just quickly manipulate the situation enough to make it look like he's a BA. Not a Barry Allen, you know what I mean. But yeah, so you see that kind of come full circle, and you see Ralph finally, gets his suit. Gets the official suit, which I think is a great mixture of comic, accurate, but with realism to fit the Flash and Arrowverse. Otherwise, let me know. Leave a like, guys, if you think that whole miniaturized Ralph suit might end up leading into the Flash ring. Because I think we're going to get the Flash ring this year. Because if Cisco can make that mini suit in that little case for Ralph, I think he can make Barry's suit in the ring, especially with Harry's help. So leave a like if you think that's what that's leading to. Otherwise, guys, I think that's about all the points I got. No, I have another point. I would have been mad at myself if I forgot this. Dawn Allen returned in the end of this episode, basically geeking out upon meeting Cisco Ramon and Ralph Dibny. And the biggest moment is we get another piece in the big puzzle of the Thinker story. Dawn Allen, was scribbling in her notebook, writing down everything Ralph and Cisco were doing. I'm assuming it's a diary of some sort, in the same language that Barry was scribbling when he came out of the Speed Force. So I'm thinking in my mind that pretty much confirms that language is a future alphabet of some sort, and it's also the same alphabet that the Thinker has in a couple places in his lair and in his technology. So I have a feeling Dawn Allen's going to be the wild card that helps Barry when it comes to the Thinker. Also, my main theory, somebody brought this up actually in a great post on the Flash Facts Facebook page, which I recommend if you guys are a fan of the Flash or Supergirl or Arrow. There's a dedicated Facebook group page to all of those shows. Please go join those. They are a great place. There's even, VIP members. We're, some people who are involved in the shows, some people who have been on previous incarnations of the shows, and et cetera, et cetera. If you guys are a fan of these shows, you will be a fan of these Facebook pages. Otherwise, guys, the main theory is that last year when Savitar made the mention in Star Labs, this is where we made the cerebral inhibitor to battle DeVoe. I have a feeling what's going to end up happening is they're going to create a device for Barry to tap into the recessed memories of when he was in the Speed Force and what he was saying and why he was saying it when he came out of the Speed Force. Because if you ask me, I think Barry has already, they've even said in interviews, well, Barry was in the Speed Force, he's lived his life over and over and over and over again, so he knows what's going to happen, but he can't access those memories, because it was such a traumatic memory, if we say it that way, or that, I don't know, but basically, I think they're going to create a device for him to be able to tap into those memories and that time in the Speed Force, and so he'll know what's going to happen. The Thinker can predict what might happen, every scenario that might happen, but if Barry knows how it's going to play out, that trumps the Thinker every time. Come on. But otherwise, guys, that's my main theory, and, honestly, I think Dawn Allen, she's going to return in the Enter Flash Time episode, which will also feature Jay Garrick, Jesse Quick, Barry Allen, and rumored Letcher as Eobard Thawne, which, if that's the case, I would love to see that happen, just a Flash family episode, which it seems like it's going to happen. Even if it's a future episode, that would be awesome. I'd love to see Barry, visit the time of Dawn Allen. That would be awesome. But otherwise, guys, leave a like if you guys enjoyed The Flash. Leave a comment, if I said anything that you guys enjoyed or anything you guys were curious or have questions about, or if you guys want to start a conversation about The Flash in the comments, go right ahead. I don't have a problem with that. I'd love to talk to you guys about it. We have moderators that, monitor our comments and stuff like that. Otherwise, guys, that is it for The Flash. We are going to go ahead and move on to Arrow, because there were a couple developments on that I'd love to talk to you guys about. So otherwise, I will see you guys over there, and bye!
My name is Oliver Queen. After 5 years in hell, I returned home with only one goal: to save my city.
Alright, guys, so let's get into Arrow a little bit here. Otherwise, guys, I just... I read a lot of comments every now and then that people think, oh, Arrow's out of story ideas, Arrow's coming to an end. I disagree, because I think almost at every turn this season, Arrow has shown and proven... Please ignore that sound. That is the sound of my Tostitos, my dinner getting done. I am so sorry. I am not sponsored by Tostitos, by the way. But, hey, Tostitos, if you want to sponsor me, get a hold of me. Hashtag dinner. I'm sorry, I was saying that I think at every turn this season, Arrow has proven that they still have ideas. They still know what they're doing, and I'm excited. This season has just excited me because it feels like Arrow kind of has a new sense of life to it. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't mind the teams separating. I actually enjoy kind of the split viewpoints. Again, we get to witness, these three, Wild Dog, Mr. Terrific, and Black Canary, especially in this episode, really develop and start to kind of go through what it means to be your own team, to make your own decisions, the struggles and complications that come with that, you know what I mean? And, but it's also awesome to have original Team Arrow OTA back, even if, they're dealing with their struggles. And hate me now, and, I will preface this with hashtag Allicity. Hashtag Allicity has risen. I have not forgotten about that at all. This was Felicity Smoak's, best episode. The moment when she is explaining Oliver's lifestyle and Oliver to William while they are watching the team save the day. It was a beautiful moment to me. I love the way it was shot, the way it was scored, the way it was scripted. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. So yes, I will say this, hashtag Allicity has risen because their chemistry, their dialogue, I think she really was an MVP in this episode, straight up. She felt like one of almost the most stable character of the episode. Next to Diggle, which, Diggle, he very much, he's dealing with his own problems. Yes, his injury's fixed, he thinks that's awesome, but, I think it's the moment when Oliver, says, well, I had Cisco make you this new suit, and Diggle's like, oh, that's awesome, except I kind of just thought I was gonna go back to being the Green Arrow, which they're gonna explore that's not gonna go away, and, I don't know, it's going to be interesting to see how that really tests Oliver and Diggle's relationship. I don't think it's going to hurt it, don't get me wrong. It's not going to be anything like Season 3, Season 4 kind of stuff, but it's going to be heartbreaking because I think Diggle really has grown attached to the Green Arrow. He's idolized Oliver and the Green Arrow, and for him to be that or even attempt to be that, I think that's important for him. And I enjoyed Diggle as Green Arrow, do not get me wrong, but nothing's ever going to beat Oliver being the Green Arrow. That's the reason I love this show so much, is Stephen Amell, Oliver Queen, that at the end of the day, that's who we're here to root for. But it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But mainly one of the big things that happened is William found out that Oliver's the Green Arrow again, which, it was after he actually saved him, and I don't know if you guys caught it, but that was the same tunnel that the Season 2 finale League of Assassins Team Arrow fight occurred in, when we get the epic shot of Oliver Queen, Roy Harper, Sarah Lance, Nyssa Al Ghul, and the League of Assassins behind them charging Slade Wilson's men. That's the same tunnel. And I thought it was awesome that they kind of reminisced that a little bit in saving William. And we even got to see William has inherited some of his father's heroic traits, which I really, really enjoyed, to see William kind of grow and get some screen time. But, and of course, William at first, he was very hurt. His father lied to him, But I think, again, it was that scene of Felicity explaining everything that really helped William understand, Oliver doesn't just do this just because he wants to or he's thrill-seeking. It's because he has to. Otherwise, there is very little anybody else who is willing in Star City to stand up like Oliver does. And, you know, I think it was the fact that Oliver tried. He really did try to accommodate William. That really helped William understand that, you know, we can try and avoid this all we want, but, you know, and as Felicity said, this is when Oliver is at his best, is when he's doing this, helping people, saving people, and I agree. Otherwise, you know, plot-wise, we got a couple revelations. Caden James is doing this because apparently 1 year ago, Oliver killed his son, but even before they came back from commercial break, I already was like, wait a minute, 1 year from today, that would have been episode 511. So I jumped back, and that was the episode he was in Hub City recruiting Dinah, and comes back from commercial, and even Felicity, that's not possible. You were in Hub City with Dinah, yeah. And so they then find out that apparently from Elena, the Helix hacker, that apparently last May, Caden James received a mysterious package, including the evidence that Oliver killed his son. I hope some of you are seeing where I'm going with this of who I think did that. I really think this is Adrian Chase. I think this is going to be one last Adrian Chase FU from Beyond the Grave. Even if it's not that, which I think would be amazing if it was that, my main feeling about where we're at, I'm loving it. But this is all way too much finale level stuff. Like, this feels like the season finale is like next week or something. You know what I mean? I don't think Caden James is going to be the final villain. I think Caden James and Oliver Queen are the pawns of somebody else's greater game, that they're trying to use those two to get rid of each other or take one out, and they're going to take on whoever the winner is. You know what I mean? Because it was actually recently confirmed a couple days ago that Katrina Law, aka Nissa Al Ghul, will be returning to the show the week after Roy Harper's Colton Haynes' mini arc back on the show is finished, which I thought was interesting because they described Roy Harper as coming back to help with an emergency situation, but his departure from Star City will leave the face of Star City changed forever. And Nissa Al Ghul's synopsis for her return is Nissa Al Ghul comes to Star City to warn the Team Arrow of an impending doom that will threaten Star City like never before, which I thought. And the episode is entitled The Something Order. I can't pronounce it. I think that order or whatever that Nissa's coming to warn them about, I think they are the real players here. I think they're going to be what the real threat ends up being in the situation. And I think right now what we're getting is really just kind of a mini-boss fight. And Ganon's going to come out of nowhere from the background and biatch slap Oliver. If it's the best way I can put it. Otherwise, guys, we didn't get much on the FBI story. You know, I'm not expecting to see a lot of that while the whole Caden James chaos is going on. But I think that's going to follow up really freaking quick, because I feel like as soon as Oliver sighs a breath of relief having dealt with Caden James, that's when the FBI is going to come in, and the adults will get what that means. But if there are children watching this, but yeah, guys, mainly very well constructed episode, very well scripted, very well scored, very well executed. You know, let me know, leave a like if you don't really trust Vigilante yet. I don't know. I just don't know about him. That's my last point, you know, is yes, he appeared to be a double agent, but Vigilante strikes me as the type of guy, he's not just afraid to kill a couple people to prove, like, hey, yeah, I'm on your side. Kidding. Stabby, 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 stab. And I should be careful not to hit my desk. I apologize. I get passionate about Arrow. Ask any of my friends and family. But otherwise, guys, yeah, very well-constructed episode. This felt like a very, I don't know, it almost felt like a very two-part story. Like, you know, The Flash does their two-part episodes. I feel like this was part one of a long story. No, honestly, it kind of felt like Season 3, when Oliver was dead at the mid-season finale. They did that 3-part Brick storyline. It kind of feels like that's what this is, if that makes sense. Comment below if you agree, disagree, have any alternative theories. There was one theory pointed out. This actually comes from Pagey. He is a fellow YouTuber who does stuff on Arrow, Flash, theories, spoilers, set photos, etc. If you guys haven't checked him out, go check him out. His channel is pretty good, amazing. Pretty good sounds so passive-aggressive when you say it. He has a really great channel where he does a lot of really great discussions and theories based on episodes. And he has a theory that was brought up to him that the timing seems a little bit off, but I could see them trying to stretch it to fit. The only person that, and this was Caden James' exact comment, 1 year ago, your arrows missed its intended target and found its way into my boy. And somebody brought up the point that the only accidental kill that Oliver had last year was Felicity's, at the time, boyfriend, Billy Malone, when he was chasing Prometheus. Now, I don't know if that's what they're going to do. The timing is a little bit off. They could, rework it. What if Billy Malone turns out to be the son of Caden James? It would also explain why Caden James has manipulated Felicity into helping with his plan as payback to her, as if he feels, she used his son or whatever, or something like that. Otherwise, guys, that's kind of my theory on that. That's pretty much all I really got to say on Arrow this week. There was just some minor giveaways and step forwards, but there wasn't any big revelations, other than, we see Oliver caves and starts wiring the money. We'll see how that goes. I don't think that's going to last long, to be honest. But otherwise, guys, that's it for Arrow. We will finish up on the newest comer to the CW, Black Lightning. So without further ado, I will put my quiver and bow down, and I will put on my tech gauntlets, and we'll get over to Black Lightning. I think they're tech gauntlets. I don't know. Let's just go to Black Lightning and talk about that, okay?
Hero, he was black. He said, this is for the street. Black Lightning's back.
Alright guys, so we're going to finish up this video on our final topic, Black Lightning. It is the newest comer to the CW, and just a couple hours ago I finished watching the first 2 episodes, and I gotta tell you, so far, I don't have a lot of opinions because I don't know a lot of the history on Black Lightning. I have to get into it a little bit before I have a super long discussion on it, but really well done, really well crafted, very realistic. It almost feels very much like a Netflix show, if that makes sense. It feels like one of the Netflix Marvel shows, which I like. I could stand to see the CW shows, the CW DC shows, take a little bit more of a realistic stance. It'd be nice to see Arrow kind of adopt a little bit of the Netflix kind of style of way of doing things. But like Supergirl and Flash. Excuse me, Supergirl and Flash and them. I don't think there's really a place for that in those shows. But, Black Lightning, very well done so far. Just incredible writing. Acting is on par. Very realistic scenarios, You see Jefferson Pierce, who's been a principal for 9 years. He gave up being Black Lightning because his ex-wife, romantic interest, it's complicated. It's complicated. Basically convinced him that being Black Lightning was an addiction and that it was harmful to him. He gave it up for 9 years. He kind of reassured himself that he'd saved more lives being the principal of Garfield High than he ever did as Black Lightning. But once he sees, and spoiler alert, one of his former students murdered after trying to save her daughter, he finally realizes that is a lie. I've been lying to myself and deluding myself. And even his, this guy who's known him since he was 12, he basically tells him, he tells It's Complicated that no, Black Lightning wasn't the addiction, you were his addiction. And so it kind of made the point that, really the harmful factor was her, not Black Lightning. Black Lightning was saving the day, even though Jefferson Pierce, he had some really great comments, that Black Lightning at the end of the day saves everybody but himself. At the end of the day, it will be Jefferson who sacrifices himself for everybody else. But also see that one of his daughters dealing with some inheritance from being the daughter of Black Lightning. You see her kind of starting to go through a transformative phase. Also looking forward to, if Black Lightning ever crosses over, this daughter really needs to meet Sarah Lance. I think they would enjoy each other's company. But no, honestly, beyond that, guys, we finally get to see a live-action incarnation of Tobias Whale. He seems to be like the kingpin of this show, and relating this show to Daredevil. But I think so far really well set up, really well written. I think they are achieving exactly what they set out to achieve. Obviously, with the introduction of the show, scheduling issues have occurred, which, guys, just bear with it. Don't hate on Black Lightning just because they have to rework some stuff. It's going to be a little awkward for a little bit. Give it a chance because, even one of my friends, Chris Wing, we so endearingly call him Crowley. I asked him, before I'd watch it, is it worth watching? Is it worth getting into? And he goes, I think so. He goes, I think honestly, Black Lightning is exactly what Luke Cage should have been, which so far I agree. Not that I'm hating on Luke Cage. I really enjoyed that series. I enjoyed the acting, props to that show. I'll still watch season 2. I'll still watch Heroes for Hire. I'm not hating on Luke Cage at all. Leave a like if you like Luke Cage. Leave a like if you watched Black Lightning and enjoy it. But otherwise, that was his opinion, and so far, I can't disagree with him. So far, it is just a pretty amazing startup show, which I'm not going to get too in-depth to talk about it, except I will say this, my one theory and call-out is I think his ex-wife, it's complicated, whatever, I think she's involved in the whole criminal element, and I think the main reason she didn't want Jefferson continuing or becoming part of it again is because I think she was trying to save him, because she knew that if he kept going, Tobias was going to kill her and there's nothing she could do. I think she's involved. Honestly, that's just my opinion, but we'll see if that plays out. Otherwise, guys, that's kind of my opinions on Black Lightning. Please let me know in the comments, if you are a Black Lightning fan and you have some Easter eggs or stuff you caught that they referenced, drop it down below in the comments. The one Easter egg that I did catch was, they had his classic comic suit in there from when he was Black Lightning 9 years ago, so they gave it that kind of nod to it, just like they did with Supergirl when they had the try-on outfits, and, they had her try on, like, the different style outfits of Supergirl from the comics and years before. And she even one time, like, I wouldn't even wear this to the beach, like, so, otherwise, guys, yeah, let me know what you guys think. That is it for Black Lightning. Otherwise, guys, that is pretty much it for the DC TV Roundup this week. Let me know if I said anything you guys agreed with, let me know if you guys have any questions, any theories, anything I missed, anything you guys want me to talk about next week, and please, use this video as we go through the next week of shows. Drop a comment, tell me what I need to watch, tell me what, look out for, or, tell me what you'd like me to talk about come next week's Roundup. Otherwise, guys, that is pretty much it. So, again, my name is David Christopher with Silver Screen Studios. It has been my pleasure to sit here and talk with you guys and, just give you my theories, my opinions. And, if you made it to the end of the video, you're a saint. I appreciate that, because I know on YouTube nobody likes long videos. But please, guys, if you made it to the end of the video, if you enjoyed this, if you want to see more, please leave a like. And if you guys feel I have earned a subscription for you, please go ahead and click that subscribe button, because I would love for you guys to be notified as soon as I upload a new video, and you guys can stay up to date with what we're doing, whether it be fan films, reactions, commentaries like this one. We're going to try and get some special guests in here to talk with me a couple times. If you guys would enjoy that, get some differing opinions. I think that's healthy to a conductive debate on shows and theories and stories. Otherwise, guys, but yeah, if you feel I've earned your subscription, please go ahead and click that subscribe button. Also, be sure to click the bell so you can turn your notifications on so you can know the minute I upload a new video. Otherwise, guys, if you enjoy Silver Screen Studios, be sure to look us up on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is @studios_screen. That'll appear on the screen. And then we're also on Facebook at Silver Screen Studios. Got our nice little triangle logo with the S's. Our friend Dora Chow over at DC Visit put that together. Still in love with that logo. Thank you so much, man. You're awesome. He does a lot of our editing and photography. Give that guy a shout out. He's a really awesome guy. And if you guys want to, please go over and check out his channel, DC Visit. He's on YouTube as well. He's put together some great fight scenes, including, Speedy versus Prometheus. He did a Batman Arkham Knight's Pursuit video, which he took an amalgam of all of Batman's fighting styles and kind of just gimmicks over the years, put it all together in one video. And your boy is actually in that as an actor, so, if you guys could go over, show some support on that, that'd be awesome. Otherwise, guys, that is it for me today. I will let you guys go before this turns into like a 40-minute video, which we're already probably pretty close. But otherwise, guys, I will see you either this week or next weekend. Thank you so much for watching again, and I hope you guys have a great night. Bye.